Yeah,
I'm
me too.
recording.
Hell yeah! Welcome back, everybody, to Ruins of the Aesaith. It has been a long time coming. Um, let's see. Last we left off, uh, one of your newfound companions is dead.
Mm.
Decapitated right in front of you. And you have also just mourned her. Um, which to happen in the span of a few hours probably has given everybody a little whiplash, if I'm going to be completely honest. Um, damn, she won't be getting ahead in life. You're right. Um,
Oh.
That's awful.
I know she lost it. But yeah. So she has passed on. Um, rest in peace,
You
Arwilla.
don't say.
I don't know why I laughed.
Uh,
You know how you laugh in bad situations to because your body is just freaking out, doesn't know what to do. That's about how it is.
oh
Got de-
yeah.
Her kappa got detated.
No, for real. Um, so yeah, she's passed on. You all mourned. Belladonna was right there with you. Bunny, you hacked off Maz's leg.
And
That was something
Forgot
that
about that.
there was no saving it, and nobody else
no,
was
there
doing
wasn't saving it.
anything.
Yep, nobody else was doing anything, so we kind of had to sever it. Um, but you all managed to get to Xandra safely, thanks to Bunny's suggestion. Um, Mazis and Grorg are now in recovery, uh, which is great. Um, Bunny, you had mentioned that you needed to talk to both Snap and Zan about something, but Zan suggested that it is still really early in the morning and to go to bed. Um, oh, listen. But yeah, he was saying, go to bed. We'll talk about it in the midday evening whenever you all wake up. Um, so, um, I have a little thing to read for each of you,
Uh-oh.
because he showed you all to your rooms. I'm gonna start with Bunnies just because
It's my house.
this that it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of nostalgia for her, and it's gonna be a little long, so that's I want everyone to just fucking buckle the fuckle up, because here we go,
Mm.
so okay, Bunny,
Okay.
um you break off from the group as you make your way downstairs. You enter a room that's almost the same as when you left it. Everything from the bedding to the seafoam walls to the well-kept flowers on your bedside has remained untouched since the day you left. You move to your bed, and getting under the self-embroidered dark green comforter is like a warm embrace of a friend long forgotten. You automatically get comfy and drift into the sweet bliss of unconsciousness. Inconsciousness? Unconsciousness. I know how to speak. Um, you come to find yourself in another room. This room feels foreign, but also familiar to you. And I'm gonna change the music because I know I'm gonna have to. Um, give me a fucking second. Uh, there we go. Oh God, I wasn't expecting that. You know what? No, I'm gonna change it again. I don't like this. Uh, no. What is that? This is gonna be a mess for a second. I gotta figure this out. I don't think I like that. I think I like dramatic more.
Uh-oh.
Because drama is me. I am drama.
Same.
No, that's also ass. What the fuck? This gives me nothing. Yeah, sure, whatever. We'll do this one. I don't know if anybody can hear it, but it's Soncraft's
I
music.
can hear it. It's like, ooh.
Yeah. Okay. And we do have some birds in the background also. So
Okay, it's just really
yes.
quiet for me. I was like, I was,
Why is that
I was
like
wondering
first-person
earlier why
zombie?
Owen wasn't playing any music, but I just had it really low down. I was like, this
Yeah,
is
I've
out of
just playing
character,
some...
but I'm not gonna say anything.
No, I've just been playing music this whole time. But yeah, so this room to you feels foreign, but also familiar. The dark mahogany walls cause chills to run up your spine. You remember this emptiness as you hop out of the four-poster bed and onto the dark wooded floors. Everything around you feels cold as you leave the room and make your way down the hall. Every bedroom you pass is open. As you peer in, you see a younger you out in the garden that always felt like a second home to you. You can see her dancing, playing, just being a kid. Honestly, you knew that would never last in a place like this. Never did. You see the happy moments fade as you pass each. You see her parents, your family, dragging her inside the house as she would kick and scream, yearning to just be among the flowers. However, you pass one door that catches your eye. It's similar to the ones you passed before, a younger you putting up a fight as you're being dragged in, except it's not by a family member. It's by a headless Arwilla. Trying to look away from the horror, you peer into the tree line behind them, and you can see a pair of glowing green eyes. The silhouette of the creature is tall and humanoid at the top with tall ears and coiled horns. The bottom half of this being is completely obscured by flowers and other foliage. Door by door, it becomes the only thing you manage to focus on, like it's forcing you to shift your attention from the distress of your former self. The creature slowly gets closer until it's almost in the doorway. You stop at one of the doors and look at the shadow deity who has managed to have the head of someone you've never met but feel overcast by. With the bodies of your companions behind it, the silhouette extends its hand out for you to take, and you do instinctively. Your perspective shifts as he pulls you into total darkness, leaving everyone behind. And then you wake up. Processing all of the gore and trauma has caused you to stir in the utter silence. And we're gonna pause. We're gonna pause, and we're gonna move to other people. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna kind of go down the list. We're gonna resolve kind of everything in a minute. But I will give you the quick choice, Bunny. Um, it's probably about midday, probably 3-4 o'clock. Um, and you smell uh herbs, almost like someone's brewing like a tea. Um, do you get up and investigate?
I think.
You're back in your room, by the way. You're back
Yeah.
in the comfy bed.
I think I would grab my cloak and I would gingerly make my way to wherever I feel like this is.
Okay, cool. And we'll resolve that later. So like I said, we're gonna go down the list. So we're gonna go next with Dawn. So, um, Dawn, today has brought you to your knees in the most exhausting way. Through everything you've endured today,
Knees.
through
I'll be
everything
the
you've
first
endured
one.
today, you're stunningly able to lay your head on your pillow and drift into deep sleep very easily. Coming to, you find yourself in a familiar clearing. A sense of dread sets in before you, um, and before you can get your wits about you, you see that Zurjat appears before you, summoning to you for aid. You catch him instinctively, but you're too far away, as both you and he fall to the ground, his head tumbling to your fingertips, as you both lay on the mist-covered ground. He stares at you with a mortified expression, the muscles in his face distorted and taut. Everything around you fades from view, and you're back in the same clearing. As soon as you realize you've looped, you see Bunny lying on the grass, motionless. You go to assist her, and while the body moves, the head remains on the ground. You try to scream at the loss of your beloved traveling companion, but everything fades from view once more. Coming to, you find yourself in a familiar casino. Here, all of your companions have been swiftly dealt with, each bloodied and battered. They scatter the floor as your tattoos begin to glow gold. Each one emits a gold light that flows into you. You know that you've consumed their souls. You feel like a monster as you collapse to the floor in defeat. As you fade from this plane, the last thing you see is your father walking towards you and the sound of jingling gold. As you wake up, the sound rings in your head and then fades from your mind. And that's it for Dawn. So let's see. Next on the list is Thing. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
So, uh-oh is right. So Thing, you lay your head on the pillow and instantly fall into a deep slumber. The stress that has been put on your tiny body has been too much for you to handle, and you immediately find yourself in a caged cart. The bumps of stray rocks and sways of uneven dirt cause you to slide slightly side to side. In the cage, with you, are people you recognize but haven't seen in a long time. Scanning the enclosed space, you see your goblin siblings, Harvest, the other satyrs, Arwilla, and the elven lady. You have the journal of now, Nirer Feor. They all look at you with empathy, and you can't help but feel confused. Why are they here? For what purpose? You believe you think this to yourself, but you see as Harvest speaks up. My sweet little thing, you know why we're here. You know why you're here. It was inevitable. Quite frankly, you were never made to fight. You're too small, too frail. You were not meant to be a hero. At this point, your two siblings chime in. Yeah, Thing. Once a gatherer, always a gatherer. You will never have the strength and resilience of a true hero. That last sentence rings and rings in your mind as you fade from the cage back into your room. Everything sits unmoving as you scan the area around you. You're awake. Safe. Alright, Snap.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yep.
Damn, made me tear up a little bit with that one.
You're fucking welcome, bestie. Alright. Snap. You along with your now horde of kobold, curl up into the bed. You want to stay up, fearing what your quote-unquote friends will say when you wake. However, you instantly slip into unconsciousness and find yourself in Pinehelm. The town is barren, and the Devil's Charm still has its magical grip on every inch of it. You wander in search of your parents, your friends, really anyone, but you're alone. Making your way further into the town, you eye a specific patch of uneven soil. You kneel to it and instinctively plunge your hand into the weirdly covered area. The soil feels colder as your hand inches further down. You don't get far when you feel something clasp your wrist. You recoil in fear, trying to escape the grasp. Your hand is freed, but not before an orange hand is unearthed. You know this hand to be Bunny's. However, it's decomposing to the point of bone being exposed. Uh, excuse me. You stand as the sky contorts into an eerie purple, and decayed hands emerge from the ground all around you. Each one is one you recognize as being your companions. Dread washes over you as you break into a sprint, attempting to make distance between yourself and this fucked town. Every footfall brings more hands trying to grab you. You look behind you as you see hands grasping onto one another in an attempt to reach you. The wave of hands is gaining on you as you approach the Welcome to Pinehelm sign. Before you can set foot outside the town's perimeter, you feel a tug, and soon after, you feel your chin hit the dirt and the gravel. You turn to face what's befallen you as the earth opens up, and the hands pull you into the freshly created hole. The sense of falling forces you awake. Everything is still, and the two kobolds lay up against you, still sleeping. So yeah, that was that.
What did we do to you, Owen?
Everything. You made me
Oh,
wait. You made me wait for
no.
D&D. Okay. Next.
This is all Alyssa's fault.
This is all
Sad.
and the 20-minute ramen, but that's
No.
neither here nor there.
Yeah.
No, okay. Finally, we have Sini. So Sini, you and Thing are in the same room. You arrive at the room, and Thing makes a beeline straight for the bed. They wasted no time falling asleep. However, you take a little longer since you've already slept. You drift after a little while and now find yourself surrounded by your friends, facing a horde of kobolds, all the way back in Silvermoon. The fight is going generally well, until you notice one of the tiny red dragons runs up to Thing, and with their obsidian claws, slits her throat. You stand there stunned. Normal Sini would jump into battle any other day, but you remain still. You feel the fear seep into your bloodstream and your lungs as your breaths are shortened. You scan the area as Snap, Dawn, Pip, Bunny, and even Belladonna get killed one by one on the battlefield, each one gorier than the last. Noticing that you haven't moved, the kobolds rush you, and, with their tiny little might, throw you into a barrel and seal it. You could feel as they roll you away from where the fight took place, and looking through the little cracks of the barrel, you can see as you pass each one of your newfound companions. Everyone you pass has that blank, lifeless stare that sends chills down your spine, as a new, somewhat primal fear sinks not only into your chest, but into your whole body. Their blood seeps from their bodies onto the cobblestone and seeps also into the barrel, filling it slowly to the brim with crimson liquid. Suffocating, all you can see is the red as the anger and grief you've begun to process also fill your senses until you're jolted awake. It feels as if you've been stabbed. It's like a phantom pain. Something sharp you could definitely feel has impaled you, but you're awake in your room. It only takes you a second to process that you are safe when Thing just awake as well. And that's it. That's everybody's little thing.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ. It's not a very nice way to wake up at all.
Oh, throwing
Yeah,
us in deep immediately. Okay. I see how it is.
Listen, if I needed to get you guys on your fucking toes. I needed to get you guys in the mood to like fucking fight a bitch, you know? So yeah, I guess I'm gonna go one by one, aside from Bunny, because we've already kind of resolved a little bit of what she's doing after she wakes up. I guess we'll start with Thing and Sini since you guys are the freshest of the bunch. So Sini, you see Thing kind of jut awake. Um, what are you two doing?
Hyperventilating. A little
I think
bit.
CD would start like not like bawling, but like crying like a little bit subtly to herself after realizing that thing is okay. Like almost tears of relief.
Oh, okay. With all the stress that you've endured, emotions are heightened. I mean, you fought kobolds not even a day and a half ago. You fought a cloaker which killed one of your friends and incapacitated two others. Um, like you have two yapping kobolds who you decided to take prisoner, who's giving you practically nothing.
We more so just adopted.
I know. At this point, you've adopted.
Thing genuinely doesn't
Um,
even see them as threats anymore. They're just kind of like, okay, now we just have two lizards with us, I guess.
yeah. Um. So like, you guys have been through a lot. Like, obviously, Sini a little less so. Because
She was Eepers.
yeah, she was a little eeper. She went to bed a little early, but um, I mean, still having to deal with the chaos of the aftermath, waking up to someone that's dead and two people needing medical assistance has driven you all to a state of hyper panic, you know? Um, so to get to a place where you can finally rest and relax, your body is still not ready to fully, I guess, let go of that sense of constant vigilance. I guess if you want to
Constant vigilance.
constant vigilance. Um, you guys do that. You guys take a second, gather yourselves. Snap, you awake. The kobolds are still sleeping. Because you have kind of curled up with them.
Um, oh, so we're like, seriously, so what I'm doing now,
Mm.
S- Snaps, snaps, trying to regain her breath, thoughts racing, body unable to move. She's scared.
Okay. So you're hyperventilating. Your your breaths are short. Um, you're trying to process everything. The kobolds can feel this, and one of them, eyes still shut, turns to face where they think is you. It's not. They're like, "You snap, go back. I'm tired," and they fall back asleep. You can see as they're um, kind of nuzzled a little closer to you. And in like the little like pouch that you've created, it has like even like gotten closer, so they're just like both just conked out. They think of you as a safe haven now.
We regret, regain
Uh,
my composure a little bit, but I am still scared. But I relax to the pile to try to calm myself down best I can.
okay. Let's see. Alyssa, are you able to speak right now, or are we still waiting for headphones?
Nah, I got him.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
So, after everything that you've experienced, you now wake up. Um, everything for you has now faded from your mind. The jingling coins, the sight of everything. What does Dawn do?
When you say fade, is for I've forgotten it, or do I remember?
I mean, it's still there. It's just,
Yeah.
you know how like when you wake up from like a vivid dream and you still recall various bits and pieces. Um, you would
Yeah.
almost retell it like a movie, but it's,
Oh,
you know, as you keep telling it hour by hour, it's like playing a game of telephone. You don't know exactly.
Yeah.
As those hours pass, you're gonna forget more and more. Um,
Yeah.
but right now, it still sticks out pretty heavily. I'm more thinking like the audio, especially like the coins jingling,
Yeah.
like the gold completely is like faded. Um, but for a second, as you were like trying to gain your composure, as you were waking up, you could still hear the sound of the gold coins jingling, and like when you move
I'd
your
say
eyes a
like
little and you turn, like sometimes you can get flashes of like some of the just awful things that you saw.
I'll sit up, catch my breath. I've got a cold sweat.
Hmm. um, yeah, um, you you feel as the beads of sweat kind of like slowly dribble down like your arms. You can feel like if you were wearing like a tunic when you slept, like you could feel it. It's like it's kind of makes you a little uncomfortable. I don't know if that would make you uncomfortable enough to get up and change, but
Oh
uncomfortable
yeah,
enough to be like, oh god, ugh.
yeah.
Um,
I'll.
It's like sticking.
yeah,
It
it's like
is.
sticking, especially to like your armpits, maybe like
Oh wow, disgust.
yeah,
Okay,
just like ugh.
I'll get up. Do it. I'm probably. I don't even roleplay this, but I'm gonna like shower her. Oh my
yes.
god.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
But I get up, get ready. You know,
okay, cool. You get
I
up, get
don't want
ready.
to
Pip
think
is still
about
by
that
your
stuff.
side. Yeah. Pip is still by your side. Slept safe and sound. No problems. It's just there. Uh,
Yeah. I'll
um.
say like. Oh wait, no. What were you gonna say?
Oh, nothing. I was finished.
Okay. I'll say like. Good morning, Pipsqueak. Did you have good dreams at least? You
And
understand me? Oh, I didn't know.
yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to formulate what I wanted to say. Pip.
No, that's real.
Hard to
I
speak
got
through
worried because I
Pip.
just got these headphones.
Yeah. I was like, hmm. Pip looks at you. Cocks their head and says, "Dream?" Question mark. They don't say dream question mark, but dream in the form of question.
Yes. Oh, well, do you not have dreams? I would have thought we talked about this before. Well, better no dreams than the one I just had. I'll tell you that.
Um, and they just say no dreams and
No dreams.
shuffle down off the bed. Um, go to pick up their little like satchel if they have it, and they're ready to go.
Okay, let's go check on the others. Make sure they haven't gone and got themselves almost killed for a second time.
So you go do that. Um, before that, we're gonna bump back all the way over to Bunny.
Yes.
Um,
So before we resolve that, can I just like quickly like jut in with
Yeah.
like what Bunny had been doing the night prior?
yeah.
Okay. So Bunny would have stayed up as long as possible
Mhm.
before like actually just like passing out. Like she would have stayed up as long as possible. And she would have been
Mhm.
just like crafting, just like making little trinkets, little things.
Yeah.
And
Do you think she would have made any like flower crowns or anything like that?
no,
Or
not
just
tonight.
like
Not this night. She would have been just like pouring all of her energy into these little baubles and sort of dragging, like, I imagine, like, her room is kind of decked out. Like, the others are, like, guest rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, this is her room. She's lived here for a long time. So she has, like, boxes and things, I would imagine.
Yes. Can you make a perception check for me?
Ah, yes. Where's perception? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. The DC isn't going to be high. Okay, yeah, you cleared it.
14.
So this room is very familiar to you. You see that the flowers that were on your bedside table, I mean, you've been gone for, I don't know, what, like a year? Something like that. Xanronor comes in every so often and waters the plants. You can tell because they're still alive. They still function. I don't remember if we talked about this. Is there a bookcase in your bedroom?
I would imagine there's some sort of shelving. I don't know, like a full, like, decked out bookshelf, but it's like
Just
like a
some
shelving
stuff
unit
to pour, to
and
put
like
things.
some natural tomes and like
Yeah.
the occasional, like, I feel like Zonmanor doesn't really know how to take care of a child, but like he does his best.
Oh, for sure.
So like some like schooling books teaching, just random shit like that.
I feel like you kind of scan the room as you're, tinkering, doing whatever. And you come across a book that you and Zan kind of looked through all throughout you living here. It is a book that I had the name for.
So fair.
Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so I found the book. So you're scanning. It's this beautiful book. It's probably like almost like this like dyed purple leather book. Beautiful embellishments. On the spine of the book, it says, "Enchanting botanical wonders, exploring the world of whimsical flora," with the name V. Howell. It's one that you and Zam probably spent the most time with. And it's filled with not only herbs, but other bushes and tree types. It mainly deals with flowers, but if there's any benefit to any flora in this, the eastern coast, it would probably be in this book. However, comparing enchanting botanical wonders to the book that had Zan's handwriting in it, that doesn't have any mention of Devil's Charm. If you happen to search through it.
All right, I make note of that. I would have spent a good chunk of the night making these trinkets and putting them in little boxes. And then I would have spent the time to weave a new basket. My previous flower basket, if we all recall, was burned in Pinehelm. So I would have spent the time doing that. And the previous basket was sort of like a dark wood weave with the small pink flowers just covering it, just sort of tucked into the weave. This basket, this new one that I'm making, is a lighter wood. It's more of a pine. And there are evergreen needles, like pine or spruce needles, woven in with the wood, in with the weave of the basket. And there would be pine cones sort of dangling from the handles, and there would still be those small pink flowers, but they're a little more sparse than they were. And she would have neatly stacked these boxes. There are 4 of them. Yes, there are 4 of them. On this new flower basket that she's woven, and she sets it in the corner of her room, next to her cloak, which is, no one has seen it yet, so I won't describe it. It's something from Xamanor's. It's not something that I had on my person previously. And then I would pass out and have this dream and wake up, and I would smell herbs, and I would grab the basket with the parcels, and I would grab my cloak and throw it on, and I would go and investigate.
Okay. So you do this. You end up kind of walking down this tiny hallway that almost immediately opens up into what would be like the dining room that is like an open plan. So it's like the dining room and the kitchen. And you see Xanranor is sipping on a little thing of tea with Digby and the other golem that I forget the name of. I think we did name him. I just don't remember the name.
I don't either. Seeing Xanranor, I would sort of put my flower basket on the table, and I would very carefully pull each of the parcels, and I would set them at different chairs around the table, and they're clearly marked with my friends' names. One says Dawn, one says Thing, Snap, Sini. And I would grab my basket, and I would walk over to Xanranor, and I would set my basket on the ground, and I would just throw my arms around him and just start weeping. Like, I've held it together from that dream. I've held it together, and like I break.
Obviously he catches you and lets you completely sink into him as he's like, oh, I take it that you slept well?
I had a bad dream.
I see. Well, how about a cup of tea and a little bit of yard work to take your mind off it?
You're really gonna make me do yard work?
It's nothing major. Just a couple of flowers that need pruning. A couple of leaves. I'm gonna help you, but I can't reach the lower ones anymore. Ugh, I'm getting old.
Fine. How are the boys? How is Grog and Mazis?
Stable. They're stable.
Okay, I'll go and I'll check on them later. I guess I'll go do your yard work.
I'll come with you. Don't worry. So he kind of guides you out.
I would grab my basket. And
yeah, you grab your basket.
He would very obviously notice that I have a very different basket than the one that I had before.
Oh yeah, he's not gonna mention it yet, but he does take note. And with Digby and the other motherfucker in tow, you guys head outside to go prune a couple of flowers.
Yeah.
And to tend to like the side of the house. Meanwhile, I'll pop back over to Dawn, and then we'll go backwards. Dawn, you pop out with Pip, and you see that at this point there is nobody in the house. at least
Oh.
the people that were in the house have just left to either
I
do
see.
some work or whatever. You had just come from upstairs. Or not, you had just come from upstairs. But before you went to bed, you had just come from upstairs.
Right.
Massus and Grorg are still upstairs, still in their rooms.
Mhm.
If you want, you can check up on them, or you can search the house. Or you can wait until everybody gets up, or do whatever you want. I'm just giving you options.
Being nosy. I look around the house, be nosy.
Okay. So can you make 3 perception checks for me?
Dude.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. So you look in.
I can't.
Oh. What do you mean?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. So you kind of peruse through different rooms. Excuse me. I'd say you start with the kitchen. You're looking through there, seeing kind of if there's anything around. What you notice is that there tends to be a lot of herbs, a lot of leaves, and a still warm kettle on the fire. It smells of tea. And then there are also cups in a cupboard. There are like the standard kitchen stuff where there's silverware. If you want, you can do something here, but I'm going to describe kind of everything. With the dining room, on the table, there are now 4, you said little boxes, Zim?
Yeah, they're about like a foot long.
That's not little. Oh, okay.
They're like little trunks.
Okay, so
They're small parcels.
yeah, so there are some like small parcels by each chair of the table, each with different names. You do see your name, so you see your name. You make note of it. We can resolve that in a second. And then I'll also say that there's like a
softly.
Smile softly. Okay.
Softly.
That's so cute. So you make note of that. We'll resolve that in a second. But the one that you really take notice of is there is a new room that you hadn't seen before last night. And this room structurally shouldn't be there. But in it, there are various books. Some of which are all on like plant care, some of which are on like herbal teas and the remedies that they have. Just various old man druid shit is what I would call it.
Nah.
There are a few tables that look like they're now they have like sprouted up from the floor, like roots and stuff have like coiled to make this like table. Same with all of the like shelving and structures, and honestly even some of the books seem like they're like attached to the wall. If you just immediately grab and like try to move something. Some of the books move, some of them don't. as you should. Pip is also probably stealing a bunch of shit.
Oh. I'll be like, Pip, we're guests here. Stop that.
Guests, and they run
Guests.
off. But yeah, so you can also smell like sap, like heavy sap, from the room as well, which confuses you because usually like sap is for like, you know, comes from like a tree, like like a living tree. Like this house is all.
We in a damn tree?
You're in a damn house, is what you are. But it confuses you.
Yeah.
So yeah. Do you want to continue to investigate the
I'll
kitchen?
go-
You can investigate.
Unless there's anything that's like amazing and mystical. I'm also like, Miss Bunny's childhood home. I'm a nosy ass bitch. If there's like any shit that's like Bunny like childhood pictures, I'd be like, oh, that's cute. But if not,
do you want to make another perception check?
nah, I don't care that much.
Okay.
I'll just go check on Mazis and Grorg. I forgot what happened to Grorg. I know he got hurt.
Grorg has lost his eye. Because of the cloaker attack.
Oh, just one.
Yeah. Oh no, he wouldn't lose both. That's too much.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's overboard.
A decapitation. You know, a leg being amputated. I draw the line at 2 eyes being gone.
I draw the line at blind.
Crazy.
Oh, good to know that Sini's gonna be alright.
Oh, yeah.
I can abide decapitation, but I draw the line at blinding.
Yeah, is that not normal? I don't understand. So yeah, you kind of make your way through. You look. You don't really see too much. Just that you make note of how weird that new library room that you didn't know existed is. Other than that, what's your plan? What do you do?
Sorry, I was thinking about Grog only having one eye.
Oh, true. Oh, yeah, you said you were going to check up on them. My bad.
Yeah, sorry,
so-
I kind of was thinking about that and anticipating it, and then I zoned out. I apologize.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. So you go upstairs, you do that. I'm going to come back to you.
Okay.
Thing and Sini. You guys have now had a moment to kind of settle in. I'm changing the music because it doesn't fit. But you've had a moment to kind of sit in your feels and experience kind of everything. I like that. Okay. Is there anything specific that either of you want to do?
I think that Sini would look for Bunny
Okay.
after giving Thing a hug, of course.
Aw, okay. So, you give Thing a hug. Thing, what do you do?
I give a hug back, kind of just not really processing it much, you know? Like, just kind of as a instant reaction.
Yeah, you're just kind of like, oh. Like, yeah, family, got it. Okay. So, Zini gives you a hug. I was not expecting this. Hello? Alright, we're just gonna go sad, I guess. But Zini gives up to go search for Bunny. Thing, do you follow suit?
For a second I just kind of watched Sini kind of go out the door, but after after Sini doesn't come back, Thing starts to get up and follow after them, so a few second delay, but is following Sini.
Okay. Think, can you make a perception check for me?
What was that?
Can you make a perception check
Perception.
for me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do. Don't have very good perception. Oh, 11.
It's okay. It's one above what I was expecting. My limit is usually 10.
Yeah.
Unless
Well,
I'm like,
my
you're
plus.
very familiar with this.
I got a +0, so I was a little bit afraid.
Oh. Well,
Could be worse. Could be worse.
could be worse. But yeah, as you kind of track Sini as she exits, your eyes lock back on. Do you have a bag, right? You have like a little
Oh yeah, I have like a satchel type.
like a little satchel.
Yeah, I think that's what Thing usually carries around.
Okay. You see out of your satchel pokes something that is like it like glistens, but it's black. It's almost like an obsidian. Like it's so dark, almost light around it could consume it. It's and yet
Excuse
it's nothing does. You do you do you like check it as you go grab your bag, or do you just kind of pay no mind?
I think as I grab my bag, I kind of see something poking out, and I just assume that something is sort of just about to fall out, so just kind of shove my hand in there and shove it back in. But as Thing does that, I feel like it would kind of like, I don't know if the texture of it or if just the size of it, they would feel it and be like, "Hey, wait, that's not something I used to have," and sort of
That's new.
that feels a little bit
So-
weird. So then they kind of pull it out and sort of
Yeah.
run their finger over it and stuff.
I got you. Can you? How would I do this? I guess make a con check.
Con, okay.
Oh,
No, no.
You want me to do a
Would
check?
be- I mean, the DC is gonna be pretty low for this. Maybe would it be a saving throw?
Yeah, is this
It's
a
nothing
saving throw or
crazy.
is this a?
This is just like a. I don't want to say anything basic. Just know it's sharp. This is kind of where I'm going with it.
Dexterity,
Um,
maybe?
Oh,
Con's fine.
Oh,
Natural
okay.
20.
you're able to grab it. It feels weird. You go back to like look at it as you're like, wait, what? You realize it's the like barb from the cloaker, like from its tail that you picked up right before Belladonna whisked you over to Xanrenort. That little like tail barb, um, you know, from like various tales from like your old tribe, can be made into a knife. Uh, so if you wanted an upgraded knife, you now have a component for it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Thing, we'll keep that idea in mind, but right now, not a good time to sit and just sort of fiddle. So,
Of course, of course.
what would I put that in? Like, as my inventory, what would I type that as?
I guess I would just say
Cloaker spike? I don't know.
Yeah, cloaker spike. Yeah.
I feel like that mostly gets the point across.
Oh yeah.
I'll probably remember what that is.
Yeah, and if you ever need to check on it, you can put a note saying can be turned into knife if need be.
Oh yeah, I guess there are notes and stuff. I
I
never use that function.
That's so fair. I don't either.
I don't either.
Hey, but it's there now, and you have a use for, so it works.
True.
Yeah, I guess let's I guess let's kind of resolve everything. Let's get you follow Sini. Snap. Kobolds are still kind of snuggled against you. You still feel the warmth of their tiny little bodies. But you hear kind of rustling as footsteps leave rooms and go upstairs and outdoors. People are slowly starting to move and groove. What do you do?
There is no point to getting out of bed. I will
No.
lay here and forget the world, if only for a moment.
Shit, can't argue with that, I guess. Um, I would say after a few minutes, RP and Socks begin to stir, so they do start to wake up. All you hear as you're just like, I'm assuming staring at the ceiling or staring at a wall, staring off into space, wherever, you just hear, good morning.
Good morning. Did y'all sleep well?
Yeah, but Sock's horn kept scratching my armpit and made me a little uncomfortable. I was a little sleepy, but other than that, yeah.
That is good. That is good.
How did you sleep?
Alright. Minus a few things, but that is neither here nor there.
Oh. And they look at you, and they like tilt their head and they smell, they like sniff. They're like, I smell flowers. I'm gonna go eat the flowers. And RP hops off the bed and runs out the door. Sock soon follows after, leaving
Please tell me
Snap cold.
I gotta like pull the blanket like closer to me and wrap myself around.
Yeah.
A little teary now that they
Alone.
are gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still refuse to move. I kind of like curl up in a ball with the blanket.
Oh. Okay. So
No.
that happens. That gets resolved. Bunny, back to you. So you and Xanador have started to trim the flowers, the leaves, trying to make it look as groomed as coral and leaves and everything mixed together will look. As Xanador, after like 15 minutes of you guys doing this, pipes up and is like, "So I've noticed you got a new basket. Did you make that?"
I made it last night. My other one, it got destroyed.
Oh,
It's
sweetie,
fine.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. It's just I needed a new one anyway.
I see. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm glad that you, have one. That's nice.
Yeah.
Sorry that yours got lost. I'm really just glad that you're safe.
You know that we're still gonna talk, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not off the hook either.
I didn't even think for a moment that I was.
For the first time this morning, you would see a smile on Bunny's face. And she would be sort of moving a little slower than she normally would, but she kind of begins to gravitate towards the back into the grove,
Okay.
where Arwilla is. And
Yeah.
she would, I think that she would just be like kind of obsessively pruning around the altar, just to make it as neat and as tidy as possible for when Grog and Mazis come to say goodbye. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do this. As you're doing this, can you make another perception check for me?
Yes.
I would say this is a passive thing, but I feel like okay, that's fine. So it takes you a minute, but after a while, you hear a familiar voice, that you haven't heard in a few hours, but specifically you hear, "Hey, Bunny!"
I look around.
Make another perception check.
18.
Hell yeah. In the midst of the trees, kind of a little off the pathway, you see Belladonna walking back up to the to the grotto, to the house, as a whole. But she's not wearing her like normal dress. She's actually wearing this like cute little like shawl that is like tied at the front. Still wearing the hat, but instead of a skirt now, she's also wearing these flowy pants. And she's like, "Hey, sorry. I think you guys forgot something. I know. Sorry.
I would
know...
like jaunt over, and as I'm walking, I would druid craft an evergreen bough for her.
Oh. She's like, "Oh, sorry. Thank you." And she takes it. And she's like, I'm sorry. I know I said I would be here in another, I don't know, day or so, but I went back and checked the clearing to see, like, to check up on the fire, because I knew it was bad. And I noticed there were a couple of barrels that were in the in the clearing. We have them in the in the apothecary. Although Palan is no help, he's too tiny. It was a struggle, but were those supposed to be going anywhere? They smell like wine.
Yes. They were supposed to be going to Ustrea.
Estrella. Okay.
Apparently, I don't know, the bartender or something who was supposed to be delivering those casks got lost, and we were supposed to get those casks and the bartender back to I think her name was Bertha?
Oh, yeah, Bertha. Yeah. I've been to that tavern before. I think that's where I picked up Dawn, I think. I've set up right across the way from there. If you need me to, I can take the kegs and tell her that you're still looking for the bartenders, if you need some more time.
That would be...
It's like, I know everything's been kind of crazy.
Yeah, that would be really, really good. We're kind of, dealing with a lot right now.
Oh, yeah. No, how are the other two doing? If you don't mind me asking.
Zaranor says that Gorg and Mazis are stable. I didn't really get a chance to look in on them this morning, but I'm gonna soon. They
Okay.
should make a full recovery. I think we acted quickly enough.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. How are you, though?
I kind of throw my arms up in like a teenage angst gesture of defeat. I I'm doing pretty awful. Trying to keep it together, but it's not easy. I want to go back to sleep.
I know what you mean. Everything has been so crazy lately. I mean, I mean, not only have I been helping you guys, but there's some people in the center part of Shawai who need help, and also in the Northern Isles off the coast, and my friends are still not back from the West Coast. I haven't seen them in a minute. I'm hoping good things, but it's hard when you know you have to bop from place to place. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that I don't know. I guess is everyone else doing okay? Have you checked up on them?
Not yet. I just woke up. I haven't seen anybody today. I think they're still asleep. But if they had any night like I did, I imagine, and processing.
Well, hmm. Well, I know I can't stay too long. I'm gonna go ahead and take those um barrels for you, but can you send my regards to the rest of the group?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll be back to pick you guys up in a little bit. Probably in the next few hours. I just have a few more stops to make.
Before you go, and I will druid craft, and in my hand will be the bloom, the flower of the devil's charm.
Yeah.
It's non-lethal, but
Okay.
it's
Okay.
a replication, and I'll hand it to her.
Oh.
If you see any of these flowers anywhere, burn them for me, please.
Of course. Of course. Of course. Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
They're kind of bad news, so get in and get out as quickly as possible. But just don't let any of these flowers stand if you see them.
Okay. And she nods at you, uh, and as she is starting to walk away, she looks back, uh, and she I don't know how I'm gonna describe this. She winks at you, and in her wink, you see a little flash of dark blue fire that resembles her magic.
Oh shit.
I
take note of that, but I don't say anything, and I just wave.
As she walks away. And before you turn around to get back to what you were doing, you notice that the way in which she's been walking, there once were like a bunch of trees, right?
Yeah.
Two of those trees are now gone.
I would sigh.
And not because of any ash. There's no burning. It's just like it's up and vanished.
Yeah, I would sigh and I would druidcraft. And if this is not a thing I can do, that's totally fine. But I would druidcraft a small, like, sapling of an evergreen tree, and I would replant if I can.
You know what? The only reason I will allow this is because you're in, like, the sanctuary of a druid master.
It is a one-time thing. I'm not gonna abuse it, but
I would say you would be able to do this if you're in a spot where druid magic can
the circle.
Oh, you have plenty of time, Alyssa. Sorry.
Okay.
I was like, you could have asked, or you could have just gone. You would have been fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
But
yeah,
I would replant, and then I would kind of hang my head, and I would go to Zaranor. Am I done yet? Can I go back inside and drink my tea?
He kind of chortles, or not chortles, but I guess he just kind of does like this brief exhale as if he like chuckled. And he's like, "Of course, yes. Go inside, drink your tea. I'll be in a minute. I have to get just a couple more of these leaves. I'll be done."
Okay. And I would go back around the front of the house, and I would go inside. The entryway, does it open into the kitchen?
It opens into like a small like mud room, and then into the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah. I would sort of ruffle my cloak to get all the needles and dirt off of it, because it's kind of it's a bit of a ceremonial thing. And I would ruffle it, and I would put my hood up, because even though it's like hot and humid in the circle, I am cold, and I am sad.
Yeah.
And I would, wipe my feet off, my little boots. And Bunny's normally wearing a little blouse and a little like skirt with a couple petticoats, but she's actually wearing like very sensible clothes. Like it's almost like overall. Almost.
Okay.
It's like very, it's like sort of mom jean type overalls, and they are they're blue denim, but they have like actual pine needles sort of woven into the denim, so they look green.
Okay.
And she's wearing sort of a, I want to say, like a yellow no, not yellow, like a very bright pink like sweater type thing, and she has this cloak over her, and she would go into the kitchen, and she would sit down very specifically and very maliciously in Zamarnor's chair, because he has a chair. He's an old man.
Oh, of course he has a chair.
She would just sit down in his chair, and she would wait for to arrive.
Yeah, I would say this is probably when everybody would meet up at this point, because Dawn is already out kind of perusing. Thing and Sini have just exited their room. Snap is dreading the world right now. So she is not with us, but everyone else is. I guess that gives us enough time to check up on everybody. What is everybody doing kind of as Bunny is walking in and getting herself situated?
Am I on? Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I am just looking for Bunny. I want to check on her.
I'm in the
She in the kitchen.
She in the kitchen. Cooking in
She
the
seemed the
kitchen.
most out of sorts last night.
Yeah.
After what happened.
Sini is on a similar track. Particularly since she's grown closer with Bunny.
Yeah. So Dawn, you and Sini are looking specifically for Bunny. Thing, I'm assuming you're following suit.
Yeah, I am kind of keeping decently close to Sini, so that kind of includes me looking for Bunny, even if it's not like specifically for Bunny. I'm not looking for Bunny
Yeah,
either.
you're just following wherever Sini is going at the
Things
moment.
kind of just
Okay.
following Sini, and they, while walking around, they've been kind of fidgeting, like running their hands like on their arms and stuff because they have a lot of tattoos that remind them like of their past, like on their arms, and thing
Yeah.
isn't like necessarily like doing anything about that, but they're just kind of thinking while kind of resting their like hands on their
Mhm.
arms and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, Can I roll a
Say what?
perception check to see if I noticed that?
Yeah. Roll a perception check. Thing, what would be the DC? I'm gonna let you decide.
I don't know.
Like,
Mhm.
Okay.
how are you doing it? Like, are you like making a show of it? Are you like just sort of? Are you trying to hide the gesture, or are you just doing it
It's
Are you
not.
doing it 'cause-
It's
one swing or the other?
Yeah, it's not really one swing or the other. It's more of sort of like a fidgety, sort of like
Okay.
you know how people kind of like stim and will like do certain actions over and over again or whatever. They're just kind of doing something similar to that. Not
Yeah.
necessarily trying to hide it, but you know, they seem
Not,
more in
like,
their own world
actively
more than
going out of their
anything.
way. Okay. So I guess it would just be a flat DC 10. Oh, 16 clears it. Got it.
That's definitely more than 10.
So, oh yeah, no. At least 6 more. But
At
I don't
least
know.
one more than 10.
It's at least one more than 10. Um, but I can only count to 4, so I know nothing.
Mood.
So Sini, you notice that Thing is doing this
I think
as everyone kind of congregates. What are you thinking?
I think what Sini would do. She's not really said a word all morning.
Uh-huh.
Because she's still definitely processing everything. But I think that she would bring Thing kind of like she'd kind of reach out for Thing, and assuming Thing accepts it, just kind of bring him closer to her.
Okay.
Yeah, you touching thing kind of like brings them out of their like sort of train of thought, and they kind of jump a little bit and look up at you, but they appreciate the gesture and they kind of start to walk a little bit closer to you.
Oh, my heart.
Oh.
Awesome. So you all reconvene. Like I have said, RP and Sock are now kind of just roaming the house. You hear every so often they'll open a door and go, "Wow!" and then they'll shut the door.
I love them so much. I love that we kidnapped them. They're so fun. They're like
They're
the
great.
comic
I mean,
relief.
Literally,
and it's
they.
every door too. I hope you know this. It's every door. Every door that is available that is shut to them, they will open, yell "Wow!" and then shut the door.
Do kobolds not have doors?
They do. They just like looking at different rooms. They
Oh.
don't have the highest intelligence.
Well, yeah.
I'm so glad we don't have a kobold in our party because this would seem so vandalizing.
Well, that and also Sini is a little racist.
Yeah. RP and Sock just are also not the brightest in general. So like
That's so fair.
they would probably be like, you know, the runts of the eggs, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Oh,
however
so we got the
you would
stupid
birth
ones.
dragonborns, you know?
We
Stupid
got the
egg.
stupid ones.
You got the stupid ones. But yeah, so you just hear them every so often go, "Wow!" Close. Wow! Close.
Bunny at this point is out of the kitchen. She has her elbows on the table, rubbing her temples as these small things run around her house and scream. She's so disgruntled.
As she should be. So, other than that, you all are kind of looking around. Dawn, you've already noticed the little thing on the table. Thing and Sini, you also, I don't know, how, Thing, how tall are you? Are you 4'11"?
Oh wait, there's a chart.
That-
Hold on.
I have it written down too. Yeah, it's like 4 something. Hold on.
3.
Wow,
Three,
that's
one.
a tall goblin.
3-1.
Damn! Palan is taller than you. What the fuck? A grung is taller than you. That's crazy.
Bunny is 4'11", for reference.
Okay, that's where the 4'11 came from then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what I was thinking of.
Man, Sini's short. Sorry. She's only
Bunny-
5'2".
Oh.
Damn.
I don't know how tall like satyrs are or anything, but I mean that's like pretty much average female height, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I guess everyone else in the party's just tall as fuck. Because,
Yeah.
Huh?
I mean,
It's not me. Or Pip.
well, except for
No,
you,
for
but
real.
Bunny is, like, still growing, so.
True.
She's only
Uh,
14.
She's
Literally.
only 14. She is, in fact, a child.
Oh yeah, I'm
But yeah.
6'3".
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Tall. Tall.
Freaking dragon.
literally.
Yeah.
If I would see them,
yeah.
like if I would see the party without Snap, I would whistle for an elemental to come to me.
Okay. You do that. Digby hobbles up to you from outside.
I would lean down. And I'm like making eye contact with the party, but I just like lean down to the elemental. Can you go get Snap out of bed? Drag her if you have to.
Oh,
There goes Alyssa.
bye,
Aw.
Liza. So Digby absolutely trots over to the welcome back.
Welcome back.
Trots over to the to Sap's room.
I was gonna say something. Right as then he got knocked off.
What were you gonna say?
What did I miss for the second I was off?
I whistled to one of the house elementals to go get Snap out of bed, and I said, drag her if you have to.
Okay, I thought you were talking to us.
No, she was looking at you, but she
I
wasn't.
was making
she wasn't
eye contact,
speaking to
but
you.
I wasn't speaking to you.
But yeah, so Digby runs over to the room. Snap, what you hear is just some just like dun 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 dun, and then the door opens, and then you hear dun 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 dun, and then you feel your leg get grabbed.
Please, just leave me alone.
I'm gonna need you to make an opposed athletics check for
With a stone elemental.
with a stone elemental. So I would say a disadvantage because you're prone at this point, technically.
Yeah.
See if I can remember how to play D&D.
Oh,
Wait, no, there's a
Yeah,
different
you
word.
fail.
It's not prone.
or you're
Yeah, you're laying in bed, you're prone.
It's
Yeah, you're prone.
supine.
Supine.
What?
You're
Why do
fucking
you know
supine.
this?
Yeah,
I saw a
whatever.
Tumblr post.
Oh,
I love how
Hey, you learned it on
educational
Tumblr.
Tumblr is.
no, for real. Tumblr erased.
Legit.
But yeah, so you get fucking yonked out of bed, Snap. Clawing at the sheets, clawing at the floors.
No,
It's
no,
no
leave me.
use.
I mean,
Uh,
no.
as you go through like the door,
My
you're
claws are
hearing
just
like the
gritting across the floor as I'm getting dragged down.
Yep, and everyone can hear it.
Dong,
But,
dong, dong, dong.
Yeah, exactly. It's that sound.
It's like when
specifically.
Peter Griffin falls down the stairs.
Yeah, except Snap getting dragged out of a fucking room.
Jesus.
So Snap gets dragged out to be with everybody, and conveniently at that point, Zanranor walks in,
To the
wipes the
sight
sweat off their
of a
brow.
stone elemental dragging a dragonborn across the floor, and Bunny is just sitting back in Zamranor's chair, smiling.
Oh yeah, and Xananor walks in and is like, "Oh, so that's where Digby went." Huh.
Thank you, Digby. What a good boy.
Mhm.
So Xananor gets makes his way into the kitchen, stepping over Snap at this point, because Snap I feel like would be in the middle of the fucking floor.
I'm like in a fetal position right now.
Digby, put her in a chair, please. Thank you. In her chair, this one, and I point to the chair that has the parcel in front of it that says Snap.
Yeah. Can you make another opposed athletics check for me, Austin?
Oh,
Or not here, my bad.
if
So
you
bad with
like
names.
this, I will do that.
Who knows? This is gonna be like this is gonna be a
Wow.
nat. Oh, okay. Okay. So you managed to fight back. Digby picks you up, and you are able to rip a little bit of moss out from its back. Doesn't make a sound. It's an elemental. It's not gonna like scream, and it doesn't look like you visibly hurt it. So no
You
cause for
hurt my
alarm
elemental.
there.
I'll kill you.
I was
But
told to make an opposing check. I didn't get a choice in the matter. I must oppose.
You
I
could
must
choose to
suppose.
not oppose.
Yeah, you could
Yeah, you
just
could be like,
stay
oh, I
down.
accept this.
That was you had a choice.
I mean, you just ended up getting picked up a little, and then you've
Can
struggled
we?
too much, and Digby dropped you on your ass.
Could it be like I'm so limp and just kind of lifeless? Like I kind of just like toppled out. Managed to just topple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Are
monster
you?
thing. I don't want to hurt the thing. I'm just
That's fair.
go out of it and flop right out of the grass.
Okay. So you flop out of the grass, but you are now back on the floor. And Xananor has moved past you and is like, "Get off the floor! You're acting like a child."
Oh, shit.
Would anybody like some tea?
Yes, please.
I would love some tea. Yes, thank you.
Xananor pours a couple glasses of tea, or a couple cups of tea, and hands you each a mug. This mug is made out of pure wood. It is an all-wood mug. The plate,
Fancy.
however, is made out of dead coral, though.
Mm. Yummy.
You, she, okay. So Snap crawls to her seat as this goes on. All right. Does everybody sit down? Is everybody sat?
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Nose.
For the most part. All right. So in front of everybody is parcel,
Yes.
each with their names on it. I don't know if there's anything that you want to do before this, Bunny.
I'm sitting and I'm waiting for people to open their parcel.
Okay. What does everybody
And
do?
if Snap goes to open her parcel at any point before the others, I would stop her.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at Bo and be like, "What's this, Bunny? A gift?"
Yeah,
Oh,
you can
alright.
open it.
I open it.
Okay. Where's my note page? Oh gosh. There it
I
is.
can only imagine.
A small, near
bomb.
perfect no, a small, near perfect replication of Dawn's lute sits in the small parcel. It's made almost entirely of evergreen needles. The scent of pine and holly fill the small. The actual body of the instrument is made of interwoven and knotted evergreen boughs with pine cones tucked beneath. The fret and strings are composed of the evergreen needle. Braided neatly and sparsely throughout the braid are small, familiar pink flowers. A note is tucked in one of the boughs. It simply reads, "Flower of the Faithless."
Flower of the what?
Faithless.
Faithless.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Is that it? Okay. Well, I'm gonna say. Did you make this?
Yeah. I was up pretty late last night. I couldn't sleep, so I thought I'd do something for everyone after the night we had.
It's beautiful, Bunny. You.
You're welcome.
The most thoughtful gift anyone's ever given me. I'll just sit back and I hold it and I'm looking at it and I'm smiling at it.
Yeah.
Aw. Thing, Sini, do you open the parcel as well?
Yeah, after seeing Dawn open hers and stuff, I kind of have an expectation of what I'm opening, because at first Thing was like, what on earth is this? And, like, very confused, but after Thing saw it was, like, you know, safe to open, for lack of better words, Thing starts to gently open it, trying not to, like, you know, damage anything. You know, just that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
A small replication of Thing's dagger sits in the parcel. The hilt is composed of a braided chain of dandelions with small pink flowers tucked in as well. Most of the dandelions are bright yellow, but a few of them are puffball dandelions. The actual blade of the knife is removable and is a whittled bit of evergreen wood. A note is wrapped around the hilt of the blade. It reads, "Flower of the Vengeful."
Ooh. Thing, looks up at Bunny and smiles. He's like, this is really pretty. Fuck, what was their voice? I don't know if I can do their voice, it's been too long.
This is really pretty.
Yeah.
So pretty. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And Thing's just kind of sitting there twiddling it and looking at it. I'm gonna have to retrain for their voice. My voice has changed so much since I last voiced it.
Yeah.
Aw.
Ding has been taking testosterone shots this whole campaign.
No, for real.
Really awkward with seeing it's probably only
Uh,
been like a week or two in
yeah.
actual lore time.
I mean, he's a
Okay.
goblin, it takes less time.
Fair.
Yeah,
Now I have
for
a
sure.
question. I have a
Yes?
question about my gift, but I feel like it's gonna mess up the cinematicness because my
No.
turn's over.
You can ask. It's fine.
Okay. Can I ask where did you get the idea of Flower of the Faithless? Curious. Are these names ascribed to us somehow? You'll have to pardon my boldness. I'm curious.
I've walked with you guys for a while, and one thing I've noticed is you don't seem to have very much faith in anything. In the gods, which I don't blame you. I don't even subscribe to a god. The evergreen is something else. But and I would never ask you to curb your faith towards mine. That's but you also don't seem to have very much faith in us, and you don't seem to have very much faith in your and Thing has been on this blood path for these kobolds, and I don't understand why. And it just seems like there's a lot untold, and I just wanted everyone to know that whatever your flaw, your lack of faith, I have enough faith for us all.
Thank you for that. I'll admit. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you can go ahead.
It does take me a while to gain faith in people. People have betrayed my faith quite a bit. And they do things that make me question the faith I do have. Well, makes me a little suspicious, but Well, the faith you have is inspiring. And for what it's worth, I do have a good bit of faith in you.
You can see I'm very tired. I have bags under my eyes for a 14-year-old, and I have obviously been crying all morning. And you would see these big tears start to run down my face. And I would just nod, and I would look at Sini to open her gift.
Does Sini open her gift?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, CD's kind of been
Cough,
No,
cough, that's your
no.
cue.
yeah, I know. Yeah, she's been kind of zoned out during this whole thing, kind of thinking to herself, or just kind of listening to Bunny's words. And after they finish, Sini begins to slowly open her gift.
A small, intricately woven replication of Sini's bow sits in the parcel. It's a flower braid that is composed of black lilies and small pink flowers. The string of the bow appears to be made of a pine needle. A note is attached by a small bit of twine. It reads, "Flower of the Huntress."
Oh shit!
Thank you,
That's so
Bunny.
cool.
I would nod, and I would look very pointedly. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, this is very thoughtful. I don't know what else to say.
I would smile. And without breaking eye contact with the three of you, I would reach over and I would push Snap's box towards her.
It's gonna be. Oh my god! I like on the edge of my seat.
I hate the wrath of Bunny. It scares me.
It's terrifying. This is gonna suck. I know what's gonna be in this.
It's a bomb.
I think the word bated breath is a good way of putting it. In shaky hands, Snap slowly reaches her hand for the parcel and opens it.
A large pine cone sits in the parcel. In each of the gaps of the pine cone, like the little, like a pine cone has gaps in it.
Vibes.
In each of the gaps of the pine cone have sprouted several of the horrific blue flowers that overran Pinehelm. The Devil's Charm flowers. A strange saccharine smell mingled with the smell of evergreen needle overpowers you. A note sits in the bottom of the parcel. It simply reads, "Blighted flower."
Oh.
Oh shit!
So Snap.
But I'm curious about the meaning behind that one. Why don't you enlighten us?
I don't think Snap will probably see the letter because the moment Snap sees the flower, Snap fucking kind of like yells, screams, pushes the box away, falls out of her chair, and then just starts sobbing and having a breakdown on the floor.
I'm just gonna say, like, damn, stone cold.
I don't even look at Snap, and I'm still locked on the the other three, and I'll just say
I'm uncomfortable.
I'll just say don't worry, they're not toxic like the ones you let us into. They're perfectly safe. And I'll close the lid of Snap's box.
As unfortunate as the situation is, she's upset.
She's crying.
What are we doing about that? I'm not good with people.
The way I see it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I understand, like, something's clearly happened to you, but you have some explaining to do. You almost cost all of us our lives. You could have told us, but you didn't. I get it that you have shit. We all have shit, but you put us all at risk. Pulling your avoidant bullshit. Thing was nearly killed by being so close to the ground. We could have we could have planned for the flowers, but you didn't tell us. That's incredibly selfish. You could have just told us you'd heard of the flowers. It wouldn't have cost you anything. I know your feelings are hurt, but Orwilla is dead. You owe us an explanation. Your right to keep your secrets has expired. You made a mistake. But I can't abide mistakes that get people killed.
I would stand up from my chair and I would walk over to Snap and I would extend an arm out to her.
Sadly, she takes the heart.
I would help her up and I would not let go. I would pull Snap down to me and in her ear, and I'm kind of saying it loud enough for everyone to hear, but mostly to Snap, I would say, the way I see it, I don't know what happened in that village. I don't know what you did. But somehow, those flowers got there. Everyone in that village was destroyed, and you're here. The way I see it, regardless of what you may have done, you owed a debt to the land. And the land came to collect. And the blood that was spilled is on your hands. Arwilla paid your debt for you. So, I don't care what anyone in this group has done. Keep your secrets, I certainly have mine. But the second any of your secrets threaten to endanger any of us, that's when your right to your privacy expires. And I would let her go.
I'm sorry.
I'm not the one you should be apologizing to. The little ones could have been killed. A woman was killed. Because of your debt. So, you're allowed to cry. You're allowed to be upset. But I'm sorry, Snap. I called you a friend. I called you a friend. You helped me. And then you walk us into a village with these toxic, horrible flowers. You let me pick them and put them in my basket. You walked the small ones into those flowers knowing what they did. And you willingly hid it from us after we prompted you several times. That is a betrayal that I cannot abide. So
I understand.
Can I ask you a question? Will I ask?
Go ahead.
Trust is very easily lost with me. Very difficult to be won. And I just want to know why you wouldn't tell us about the flowers. What was the fear? Because I've had so many treacherous traveling partners. And I sympathize with your tears. I've had my fair share of tears, to be certain, but your tears don't erase your actions, and I have no way of knowing what you're capable of. I barely know you. All I ask, please, do you have ulterior motives? Are you a danger to us Why didn't you tell us?
I never want harm to befall upon any of y'all. I made mistakes. So many mistakes. So many people killed. People close to me, people close to us. I promise. It was never my intent to lead anyone into danger. I'm sorry.
You planted those flowers, didn't you?
Much is obvious. Yes.
You owe us an explanation, Snap.
Dawn?
I'm visibly upset.
You have every right to be upset. All of us have every right to be upset. But you, Snap, you planted those flowers. Did you know what they were capable of?
I didn't realize how bad they would get. I just needed to get rid of those people that hurt me. They've hurt my mother.
Why not just leave? I get having wrath against people, but this is...
My mother's home was nearby. But she is a dragon, not hard to... It's not easy to just up and relocate. She's tried to make peace, but they only want pain and violence towards her.
At that point, hey Bunny,
Yes.
can you make a perception check for me?
Yes. 12.
Cool, that'll do it. You are kind of scanning the. At first, you were fixated on the 3, but in scanning the room with Snap and Xanranor, you notice that Xanranor hasn't sipped his tea in a minute.
Poisoned!
No, he is looking at like where Snap is sitting, but not making eye contact with Snap. Is looking down. And he his eyebrows kind of furrow to that of concern. While you're talking, he speaks up and he's like, what did I didn't excuse me, I didn't get a look at the flowers. What did they look like by chance?
They're devil's charm flowers. You know what they are.
Devil's charm. No. Okay.
I would...
Yeah. No, I do know what they are.
I would look at Xamanor, and there is nothing but fury in my eyes, and my eyes flash. They go from the soft baby pink to a dark, aggressive, emerald green color.
Oh, I thought you were going to say red.
No.
Edgy.
Mechanically, I'm using thaumaturgy to change the color of my eyes, but my eyes flash green. And I look at him. Who is Willow? Why is your writing in her book?
My writing is in Willow's book. Because Willow and I were friends.
Oh, shit.
The reason why my book was probably in Pinehelm, is that where you got it?
Yeah.
The reason why is because Willow was Snap's mother.
A dragon?
Yeah. Years ago, um, both her and I, when
You-
Snap was little,
Oh, you
would
Snap's dad.
no,
Oh.
no, 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 no,
Oh.
no, no, no. Snap's mom and I, when Snap was little, would test
Where's
out
this going?
dangerous flowers. We always knew that there was a potency to them. Hence the book. Shows you how dangerous they
sorry.
are.
I didn't know that was a sore subject. My bad.
No, no. Oh. But yes, she and I used to roam the coast of Shawai, testing different flowers. When we came across the Devil's Charm. After a while, we decided to part ways. We recorded it, obviously. Every page in there should have a note. Little personal note, just saying kind of what to do to get rid of it if it gets too bad, or how it could be used medicinally for good. The Devil's Charm is not... It's not good, so that's why we purge it with fire.
Did you give Snap those seeds?
No. But I do see my seed pouch. It went missing when... it was the last time I had visited Willow. Probably 6 or 7 years back. I'd left both the book, my findings, some of my plants, my seed pouch. And I see that Snap has it.
You should have burned those seeds. Why would you keep them? You know what those flowers are capable of. You
Willow
should have
wanted
burned
to do...
them.
Willow wanted to do additional research. So, I left them there. Neither of us thought that Snap would get her hands on it. But that was a slide on my part and on hers. I'm not saying that I'm good. I'm not saying that I'm good, right?
And you just see Bunny erupt into hysterical laughter. My whole life that I've been with you, you have preached that the land collects its debt and that the land is owed something. You preach everything you've preached to me.
Is
And
true.
And yet you let those seeds out of your sight? What are you gonna do to repay your debt, Zamranor? Is another woman gonna have to die?
No. You see, Willow asked for the seeds. I gave them to her. There are no karmic things to just giving seeds to someone who wants to study them. Them getting into the wrong hands, that's somebody else's problem. That is not mine.
No, but it is yours. It is your problem. Because your
at this point.
Oh?
And she turns to Bunny and places a hand on her. And she says...
Her head snaps towards you and her eyes flash green again.
And she says, calm down, Bunny. What he speaks is the truth. But what you have to remember is that the forest can only do so much. The wilds themselves can only do so much to collect their debts. Sometimes you must be the one to collect the debts for it. You must be the one to take the action to make things right and to balance the scales of the world. And then she hands Bunny an arrow out of her quiver. And she says, sometimes you must be the arrow.
She takes the arrow, and immediately, as her hand grabs, it is covered with vines and evergreen boughs and needles and pine cones and these pink flowers. And she nods, and she just lays it on the table. And she looks at Xaminor. I fully intend to collect the debts for the evergreen.
Just make sure that your wrath is pinpoint and accurate. Don't let anyone else get hurt. Only those who deserve it.
And Xanranor will look at Bunny and will say, there is no karmic deed in giving someone who is willing to learn seeds. I did not give Snap the seeds. The seeds, after I have left Willow's hands. At this point, it would be out of my hands, and therefore not the karma. It's how, if the evergreen worked like a long line of karmic debt to be repaid, then how far back would the evergreen have to go? Where's the limit? What I did...
Go ahead.
What I did is inherently neutral. We decided to study what we thought and what we knew could be harmed, could be harmful. Yes. We did it away from people. She knew to do it away from people. She knew to keep it away from a child's hands. We cannot account for every single thing. So if the bag is out of my hands, and it has been given to somebody else, that in lies the problem. At that point, that is the deal. That is the karmic deal that you make, right? The evergreen takes directly.
And maybe you and I have a very different definition of justice.
And that's okay.
Is it okay when your ignorance
It's not his
and
fault.
willing to risk leads to innocents dying?
It's not his fault.
It's...
You
I was
say it's out of your
near
hands.
people when we experimented.
If you
Never
weren't
near
experimenting at all, none of this would have happened. If you didn't test the waters with these dangerous plants, none of this would have happened. What
Then
point
at
is
that
there
point-
to research these?
That point, if you're making this point, would fall all the way back to Valeraine Howell. I used to read her books all the time. She gave me the idea. Shouldn't she be punished? No.
I
Right?
don't know about this argument. What
It's not
is
his
your
fault.
what? Thank you, Snap. I can think for myself. What was your purpose in studying these seeds? If you knew they were harmful, I believe that's what Sini's getting at.
Thank you, Dawn.
Pesticide.
Let's decide.
Pesticide.
Part of it. Part of it was looking for a way to um, purge the invasive species, um, like the devil's charm.
So you created an invasive species.
We did not create it. That's the thing. It existed between traveler to traveler. It originated in one of the archipelago islands down in the Southeast Ocean. It has been sold multiple times. People use it a lot when it comes to putting it in drinks for foul play, using the pollen for hallucinogenics, even slowly killing the people. Unbeknownst to Snap, that's just kind of how that worked.
Sounds like it had a lot more properties aside from just pesticide.
We were also looking for herbal remedies. Like I said, it wasn't just the devil's charm. It was other flowers. It's why a lot of apothecarians will test out herbal remedies. A lot of times.
Go ahead.
A lot of times, they will look to druids to figure out medicinal properties. When we learned that the devil charm was bad, I decided that it was a good idea to terminate it.
It was a good idea to what?
It was a good idea to terminate the project, specifically with the devil's charm. However, Willow was curious. She was adamant. She thought, and this was her theory, that the devil's charm, well, after a certain amount of hours killing someone, if burnt or boiled, whatever is left behind could be used for a healing incense, or even a tea.
So
I didn't believe her.
I'm sorry, I'm no medicine woman, but in what way is a tea worth hundreds, if not millions, of lives? Apologies. I mean, you're the sage, wizard, whatever you are, but I simply don't see how it's worth the results.
you
How the
buckled
risks
for
are worth these results.
tea.
I would slam the book open on the table. The Willow's book.
Yes.
To the page where the devil's charm is. And I would point at the list of symptoms. You say that you did this away from people. Then how did you get this? How do you know this? And I shove the book at him. And it's the list of all the symptoms and the list of like timings and things like that. Like there are incremental times, like hours and days. How did you get that?
I'm in a corner, man.
Well, if you must know, before meeting Willow, I and Matz's mother.
Wait, I'm so scared. What are you about to say?
I and Matz's mother were big travelers. We traveled the world. I have always been big into the art of druid magic, but we went to this beautiful archipelago and one of these islands had it. We were fighting, kicking up a bunch of pollen. We both experienced a bunch of the symptoms. I was lucky, to walk out of it. But, and you see that Zanranor is like white knuckling the mug that he has. He hasn't drank since he started speaking. But Mazis's mom, we were married at the time. She didn't make it. We had no idea what it was. It's the one that named it. Because for as beautiful as it looks, as harmful as it looks, within 24 hours you could be dead.
So
It was, at that point, was not an experiment. At that point, that was two younger, naive adventurers thinking that they could leave a child at home with their aunt to go on this extravagant adventure and come home to tell the tale. And if you ask me, that was ignorant to think. And I don't think any of my choices have been smart. But studying the flower, knowing now that it's invasive, knowing now that given that it can kill an entire town, and I don't know how long I've been gone, 6 years, maybe even less than that, since Snap was just a toddler. I opposed researching.
and yet you did.
No.
You allowed it.
After. I opposed, let me rephrase. I opposed research after we found that it was invasive. I knew the risks.
Was this before or after you gave the seeds to Willow?
This was before.
So you
Willow
could have stopped
insisted.
it.
Willow insisted. I said no. I had thought I had gotten rid of all the seeds.
You trusted her.
And in trusting her, you showed that you had no regard for life.
I wouldn't say I don't have a regard for life. That's a little out of left field.
Remember in that story when you said that your wife didn't make it? And yet you continued toying with these? And you allowed others to continue toying with them? Even when in your gut, you said no. But you didn't listen to that. You let her do what she wanted. And because of it, people lost their lives.
Personally,
Maybe-
it's just me, but I don't think that's worth tea in the pursuit of knowledge. That's just me, though.
Maybe we should all be punished then.
For what reason?
That's essentially.
Look at us. Dawn has absolutely no faith in the people around her. She won't talk about why. Snap committed a genocide against an entire village. Sini and Thing, they're on some warpath after these kobolds, and we don't even know why. And we're just following. And I everything in my life has been a lie. Everything. Until I came here. I mean, come on.
We're all incredibly flawed.
You know what? Let me tell you why.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you why Thing and I are on this little warpath of ours, as you call it. I lost my entire village. Everyone I knew and loved died because of these kobold raids. I had nowhere to go. And thankfully, I was able to find a village that was willing to take me in and let me start a new life there. And unfortunately, the kobolds came there too. And they took Thing's parents. That's why. They've taken everything from me, and I don't want to let them take anything from Thing. This is my way to balance my world, to right the wrongs that have been done against my people. This is my justice.
I appreciate how everyone's opening up. I just don't know if I'm ready yet. I can tell you're all honorable. Well, most of you. I can tell you're honorable people, but I've been with people before who seemed honorable and then weren't. I need time to feel comfortable with these things. I hope you... Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good. Finish.
I hope you can have faith in me that I can change. I'm not sure if I can. But we've appreciated our time together.
Xanranor speaks up and is like, I'm not a part of the group, but the reason why I did what I did, as much as I've explained it, there's always context. The reason why I fell into research is because I was always so curious as to how something so small could take a life so big, and ways around that, ways to help, ways to stop anything. Because I lost Mazis's mom, I didn't have the heart to tell him, so I left him with his aunt.
Wow.
I went...
Xanador.
Let me finish. I went in search of answers because she was the one I truly was meant for. She gave me meaning when I didn't have any, and I in being so scared to tell or deal with Mazis and his emotions, I left, I researched, and I came across Bunny after I set up this house. And I swore to never again be the person that I was. Never again look at a book, deal with any dangerous flowers. I even taught Bunny, absolutely, If you do not know the flower, do not touch it. Do not look at it. But curiosity gets the best of us.
I should have done better to warn, to explain. My mind was not where it should have been. I saw how far it read, and I knew that I was really messed up, and I have paid for it. I feel like Sanders, what you should know, I went to my mother's place and my father's. While I do not know where my mother is, my father had passed along with the villagers. If karma is a thing, it has found me. And though it is still not enough for the actions I've done, I am deeply sorry. Almost putting y'all in danger.
Do we know how
talking
do we know you? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I can't see you, so I can't tell when you're done talking.
Sorry.
How do we know you won't make the same mistake again? It's an honest question.
I know you probably will never trust me, but I consider everyone here like family. And I will do anything for my family. But I won't go to extremes. I know what I've done is wrong. And I will make sure to do my best to right my wrong. But that is all I can hope. And I know that words mean nothing, but I hope through actions I can slowly regain y'all's trust.
Make it
I will
right.
say this. This goes to you and Senator.
It's Zanranor.
Sorry, Xehanort. I was so eaten.
Zaranor?
Zanranor.
Anyways.
Oh, Zanranor.
Both of you have ran from your past. If you want to move on and to truly learn and to accept what's happened, you have to face it. You can't hide from it. You can't pretend that nothing happened. That was your opportunity to face it, Snap, and you didn't until it was too late. I'm not saying that you don't have time to grow, but this should serve as a wake-up call.
As you finish, Xander pipes up, looking at Bunny, and is like, and you, Bunny, delivered mine to my doorstep. So, why don't you and I go upstairs to Maz's and have a little chat before he wakes up? And chat a little when he wakes up. And he extends his hand out to you, if you're willing.
I look at him, and my eyes flash green again. My life has been a series of betrayals by everyone I've called a parent. I cannot go through that again. Not with you.
Then let me make it right. And that's where we'll end the session, everybody. Yeah! Hell yeah! Take his hand. That is where we will end the fucking session. Holy shit.
My stomach
Oh my
hurts.
god.
Dude, there
Oh,
were so many
I was not.
emotions.
First of all,
Literally.
Kid
I
gonna
don't
get in
understand
trouble.
where we jumped from. Oh yeah, this is a chill, whatever. To I'm gonna
Warning.
shoot Zanran.
No,
How did
real.
we get there?
I told him. I was like, you're not off the
Zamrador
hook. Like, you have
was-
shit, and I'm
I
not
mean-
here for it.
No, and he
Zamrador
told
was
you
being
that
a
he
bi-
knew. He was not being a bitch. He was open and honest.
You know why I said Cedrador? It's a RuneScape character.
Oh, that's so fair.
I mixed up the names in my head. Oops.
I felt like we were
Zamrador
talking
just
in
kept
circles.
saying crazy shit. I did too.
Literally.
So I tried to like derail it with like we should all be punished because I knew that would kind of catch everyone.
Oh yeah.
That
Well,
was a
and the thing
productive
was-
meeting.
No, for real. Well, and the thing was that I was trying to convey to everyone that the whole thing, Zan's whole belief system and what Zan has money, is that karma will take its toll on the person. It is not a chain link. It will not nip the chain to get back to the person. If Zanranor allows someone else to take something and it gets out of their hands, at that point, the chain link is linked. You cannot go back. That is
Well,
an inherently neutral act.
See,
Yeah.
But that's like
it's like giving someone a gun and then saying, well, they shot someone, not me.
yeah.
But the
It's
thing
do with
is
it what
that
you
don't-
will. Like if you give that's
Yeah.
like giving a child a gun, and then if the child shot themselves, shoots
But
themselves in the
Xanador
head on
didn't give a
accident,
child
then you're like,
anything.
It wasn't a
That's
child, though. It was a
straw
whole-ass
man,
adult.
right?
Yeah.
okay,
Hey, like,
okay.
Okay.
But if you give
So my thing, right, is I fully understand where Xanador was. It's like I didn't give Snap the flowers. Like I gave Willow the flowers because I thought she had good intentions. Somewhere along the way, Snap got a hold of them and did this horrible thing.
Yeah, that's
I
the
had no
thing.
control over that, and I understand that. Bunny
Yeah.
has like
Our characters
absolutely
witnessed
no
some
chill.
trauma, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
Our
1000%,
characters
and I'm not
are
trying
not going to
knock
justify
that.
this guy.
Oh, for sure. I think the thing that I was just like, whoa, what the fuck, was when Snap just, or not Snap, when Cini just handed an arrow. I was like, what? I was like, this is such like a tame
When-
conversation, and you just gave Bunny a fucking arrow to shoot
when
Xanador?
Cini did that,
Not to shoot.
no, I didn't think. I thought it was just symbolic. I didn't.
It
think-
was
I
symbolic.
do.
I
didn't think she was saying
took that
shoot.
purely
Zan.
literally.
No,
I
it
took
was
that
not
purely
literal.
literally, because we were
Although
all
I will
just
say,
like,
I was really confused when Cini started like talking against Xanranor, because I thought when they said that they were agreeing with him.
They
And
were,
then
they
like-
were they were agreeing with him in a sense, but they were basically saying like, yeah, he's right, but you have
I
to
feel
also you
like-
have to take action also, and Xanrador
Yeah, that's what I was-
wasn't.
oh yeah, Zan
I'm saying,
has
I feel
fucking
like
loaded,
fate-
like, he has a loaded past.
It will happen as it will, but I mean, I feel like you also can use reasoning to ascertain what might or might not be a good decision.
Cini,
That was my issue with the argument.
yeah, Cini's whole view is that like because like Cini's not inherently druidic, but at the same time she has a lot of connections to like the land.
Yeah.
And so she sees herself as essentially, the sword of the land, like as a vessel to actually execute the karma. And what Cini is trying to what Cini was trying to tell Bunny was that like sometimes you have to step up and make a hard decision to actually get your justice.
Yeah. And I think Bunny has a lot of anger, and it's not really directed at Snap. It's obviously directed at Snap and Xanranor, but the dream that she had is bringing up
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of
that's
old
ooh.
feelings, and Bunny's real anger is directed at that, and a lot of that anger is coming out here.
Mm-hmm.
And she is just... Bunny's definition of justice is very different from Xehanort. And I imagine that has caused some issues in the past.
Oh, they butt heads all the fucking time. I hope, yeah.
And Bunny fully believes that, like...
What does Bunny want to do with Snap? That's what, see, that whenever we were talking in circles, what I was gonna do is say, like, okay, we're talking in circles, but, like, what's the final decision? Are we forgiving Snap? Like... Bunny, okay, I don't know if I arbitrated this properly, but Bunny's whole belief system is that if you do something to slight the land will collect that debt. You have a debt to pay, and it will collect. And Bunny believes that Snap has been punished. Bunny believes that Snap's debt has been collected through Arwilla's death. Bunny believes that Snap is fully responsible for Arwilla's death, and that death has cleared the scales, right? Bunny believes that Snap has been punished enough.